Yeah, so manual, which you can find it, that's like a find point of view. How do we use it? That yes, whenever you have any information which is required, then you can use it. The find, searching the files for files in your directory hierarchy. But we have the different options. Yeah, the find with the debug points or the levels or the path or expression. But what are those options and how do we use it? Let me go for understanding. There's some important points over here. You know, you see it's like any options I'm going to talk at that. Yeah, so just understand it, the find on all these options, like just you can understand or you can find it. Yeah, all these options from here. Let me conclude it some important points from the find command. Yeah, before going to work it, the first let me create one dummy folder here. I'm just creating this some dummy files to search for that or to use the find command. Within that the folder, let me create some file, something reports.txt, and within the same folder let me create to.txt. Yeah, some files just I have created within. I just started another system. Let me install the tree. So from all these concepts so far, whatever we discussed in this week, you will be having, or last week we have given some questions, right? Around 30 to 35 questions which are given, and this weekend you will be having that again around 30 to 35. So almost like on all these concepts, 70 interview questions. At least prepare well on that, those interview questions. So that's kind of evaluation which is going to help. Yeah, we make sure that preparing for this weekend. Yeah, this is a folder we have created and we have the two files within that. Now I need to find it to-do.txt, which is there in the project folder, but I am in that which directory? Current directory in the user home directory, but within the user home directory we have the projects folder, and within the projects we have some files. Yeah, now I need to find it to.txt file. How do we search it? Suppose locate, if I use it. Actually we are using the locate. The locate also I have, so we need to install the package, right? Locate. Okay, anyway, leave it off that. Locate is going to look in that from the database point of view. But find command, how do we use it is the find, and the first we need to specify the path. Yeah, so in which directory are you going to look into about that files and folders? Now I am looking at current directory. That means in the user home directory itself, I need to find it. The file is there or not. That is to-do file. But I don't know that. But I'm trying to search it about it. So the find, and after that, what is the option we need to specify is path. And but which text you are going to search it about it? What is the file name or a directory name which you are looking about it? That's we need to define it. But how to define it is one of the argument which I have this in the find command. There is hyphen name, and whatever the file name you are looking about it, then file name you can pass it that. File name or directory names which you are looking at, yes, which you can pass it over here. The find path, you can use it absolute path or relative path, and hyphen name. Yes, name like name is like as a text. Is which text pattern are you going to use it that? You know, if I use it, is now we got it within that the current directory dot / projects folder, and we have the to-do.txt file. But a locator is not able to find it, right? Because you need to first update the database, then only you can find it. Now just we have created, after creating the files and folders, yes, without updating any databases, yes, you can use the find. Now suppose if I'm going to look at about that within the find case sensitive. Yeah, one more option as Unix important point which we need to always remember is case sensitive. Now whenever I use it like a caps letter within that, yes, now it is not returning that. But today we have created, just we can understand it, whether it is have the caps letters or the small letters. But I have created the files 1 month back. Now I need to search it, the file is there or not in the system. But if whatever the file I'm searching about it is not matched, then ignore in the case is the find with ignoring case. If you'd like to run it, what the option which we have is iname. Yeah, name is like that is a text pattern, whatever you are applying, it is going to use it as it is with the case options. But ignoring the case, if you need it, then within the find, how do we use it is we don't have like -i option. Normally ignoring the case in like a cat command, like we're using some commands, right? Yeah, they're like -i, the grep. Anyway, I'll talk it about it next. Yeah, -e is like as ignoring the case, general concept. But in the find command, how do we use it? Ignoring the case is -iname is the option which we can use it, not just like -iname. Then if I just run it, then it is going to return that ignoring the caps or the small letters, and it is going to find the files and returning that. Yeah, so this is like a syntax, just to get it about it. Path, find path, and then the string pattern. But which string that are you looking about it? The file name or directory name? Then you need to use it -name and string. But ignore the case -name string. And one more point, if I just give that the only to do, yeah, that is not getting about it, right? So in the locate command, if you just observe that whether it is matched that in the directories or whether it is matched in the base name of the files. Now what do we call this one is, this is the base name of the file, right? Complete name, actual name of that base name of the file. The find is going, locate is going to locate the complete string. If it is matched within the either absolute path or base names, it is going to return that. But find point of view, exact base name, it is doing that. But if I would like to, I didn't remember it. What is the extension which you have created for this file name? But if I would like to use it within the refined to such that the patterns, yes, which we can use it like asterisk notation. That is like I mean, asterisk, what is that? This is one of the regular expression, and which will come back. But what is the meaning of that is the file or directory name, it has to start with the 4 letters, that is to do. And after that, yes, that is a length and the length point of view and the characters point of view, that is alphabets or numeric, doesn't matter that. So that is meaning over there in the asterisk, but we have those different options. The wildcard characters will come back to that. Yeah, so you use it within the find. It is just whatever the pattern you are giving that, and that that pattern is like as a base name pattern. It is going to use it, and it is not applying like as a the asterisk and asterisk. So locate is going to use it like this option by default. But if we need it within the locate base name, then you need to use it -b option. But in the find command, whatever the string you are giving, it is like as a base name. If it is exactly matched, then only it returns. If it is not matched, it doesn't return. But if you would like to know the exact the file names, then you can use it the asterisk notations as it is going to helpful to return that files. And one more point, whenever you're giving that this kind of the strings, use that double quotation. So don't use that string directly giving that. Suppose if you have the any spaces within the string or any special characters are there, then use it the string which you are, or the file names which are looking for that file names, define that within the double quotation. Yeah, so that's about the syntax of the find command. The find path and -name or -iname, and then which file name or a directory name you are going to look into about it, that file name or directory name which you can pass it. And the pattern, whatever the string which you are giving that, the string pattern, make sure about it, that should be defined within the double quotation. And yeah, I've got this point like the syntax of this find command, but we have the different options. We'll come back one by one. Yeah, this is the basic syntax of that find command. Now what do we do this is, we go for, like, suppose if I'd like to delete this file, how do we delete it? How do we delete this file? So we use it rm command, right? Yeah, so the syntax of that says rm and -ef, like a forcefully to delete it. Then we give that the folder name, and then we have this todo.txt. Yes, this command is going to helpful to delete it. But what is that? I mean, the find one more option, what it is going to help us is, now I need to find it, the files which are matched with the to do, and I would like to delete it. So finding the files and deleting the files. So then how I can do that? The find, I mean, first finding that, okay, todo.txt is the file which is located here, and then go for applying rm-rf. Is it that required the two commands? Is it required the two commands? One is the finding and second one is removing. So not required. The beauty what we have from the find is, we just pass it that to delete. So what is the one more argument which we are trying to understand is -delete. So this is going to help for finding that the files which are matched with this pattern, and the files which are written in here, those files which will be deleted. But you need to make sure it, I mean, that is before going to applying this delete, first to search that files. Okay, it is returning that this is the output. Now these files are no more required. Then go for applying find command with -delete. That is going to helpful finding that the files with the pattern which is specified, and as well as deleting the files. Now if I go back and check it that tree, now the todo.txt which has been deleted. I didn't use it two commands. One is the finding and second one is rm-rf. The find itself is having that option, and you are sure what are the files which are returning that, and you don't need those files, then you can apply that, or you can pass this one more argument, that is -delete. Yeah, finding the files and deleting the files. Yeah, so this is one more option. So far, like -name is one option, that is which you can pass it that file name or a directory names, and -i name, that is ignoring the case, and the find what are the result which is returning that. Then if you don't need those files, you can apply that delete option as well as. Yeah, this is one more argument of the find. And next, if you go for that, like suppose I'm looking this within the etc folder as one of the file, what is that, like users file, the password file, right? Yeah, use asterisk is used for any type of the file. Yes. So that is not recommended. Yes, one point Jamili is asking that, can we use a pipe command for two commands as a find? No. So find -name, no, we cannot use. Okay. You are asking for that rm-f. So it is not that much accurate. That is how to catch that, or how do we pass it is, yes, like suppose, let me just show that. But this is not recommended. Is we have like the easy approaches to manage it. Okay, now I search for that instead of the to do. What is that another file? We have the reports, right? Let me just go. Okay, now find is returning that repo command. Now, as we were understanding the pipe, and which we can use it rm-rf. Still, I mean, if you just observe that the repo is written in that reports.txt, and I have passed this output of this command to that rm-rf as we were understanding the pipeline option, but still my file is not deleted. So this is, I mean, the like here it is not helping about it, like applying that combinations of the find with the find. So the find, I mean, as we don't have the solution, the find itself has given the solution. That is -delete, And we have like one more option, exec command. I'll come back. One more option with the find that is recommended. If you'd like to concatenate any commands with the find, don't use the pipe option. It is not working that the pipe in this, especially the find command point of view. This point of view, the solution itself has been given from the find itself. If the solution is there with the pipeline option, then we don't need the -delete option from the find command, right? Yeah, so as like a limitation point of view, that's the output of redirection. The find is itself is having the argument that is -delete. Yeah, fine, good. Next point what we would like to understand is the find. What is that directory? etc. And now the path is etc, and within the etc we have like a file name. What is the file name? The password, the some file. Yes, right, password file within the etc. And the permission denied. Yes, if you see this, whenever you are searching the files, the permission denied, as we know that sudo we need to use it, right? Yeah, let's use it, the sudo option. Yeah, so the find, and if you see this any permission denied options, run the command with the sudo. That is now it is returning that the files, the password files we have within the etc password, and we have like within that pam.d, that is the daemon process point of view, we have one more password file. And normally, if I would like to know that the complete information of this file, normally how do we use it? Information of this file, -l, etc, and the password with some more properties. Yes, who has created, when it was modified. If we need this information, we use it ls-l, right? But within the find command itself, we can use it ls command or ls option. Now, if you just observe the difference, before it was just giving the file names, file and with absolute path of this file, right? But with the -ls option, which we can use it within the find command -ls, that is helping about it to get it that complete the information of the file, about the permissions point of view, who is the owner of it, and when it was lastly modified, and what is the size of that. The complete information, how do we get it with the find option is -ls is one argument, -delete one argument, and now we are understanding one more argument for the find, that is -ls, that is output, whatever it is returning, the output, if you'd like to see in the long list format of the ls, then we can use it this. Okay, there is one more option, ls, and now we are understanding the files point of view, or like we are searching the files. But what are the directories? Suppose now you need to get a list of all the directories which are there in that etc folder. How do we get it that list of all the files? Suppose if I just run it to sudo the find which path within the etc, and yeah, so I would like to get in that all the files in the folder. Now we see this, like we have so many files in the folders. Total how many it is returning that? Now you see this like 2397 either files or folders. Okay, I'll come back that. Yes, Satish, you are asking exact difference between LSI and LL. That is, I mean, Dalia's name. I'll just conclude that at point later. Let me conclude here. Now, find, and within that etc, the total files and folders, how many we have is, if you just get it, and folder 2397. But I would like to get it only folders or only files. Can I use it with the find with the filter option to get only folders, that is directories, or only files? Yes, what is that one more option? Okay, let me use it anyway. Yeah, what is that one more option which we have this within that find is -type. -type, and if I give that d for directory, as we know that like block special files, character special files, normal files, directories. So there's the types of the files as we have that. Now we are requesting that return that all the directories within this etc folder. Before I didn't use it any type option. It is written that total files and folders 2397. But if I use it -d, hyphen type and with d, that means we are requesting to the find command return that only directories which are there in this etc directory. But we are using wc-l, that is the total number of directories in this folder. But if I needed files, how do we get it? F option, hyphen type only, it is going to search for the files. How many files we have within that is 1694 files are there, and the directories 606. Overall, I mean both directories and files, how many we have? Around 2300, right? Yes, around 2300 we have, but still we have 97 more files within the DTC. But what are those? Yeah, we have this links also, right? Links to some files. Yes, now you see this links, how many we have that within this? 97. Total, if you all together, if you group it, 2397 files which are there. So we can use it and the find with option -type, which type of the files that you are looking about it. Are you looking about the links? Are you looking about it the files, or are you looking about the directories? Also, we can apply that filters whenever you are looking about it or searching the files. Yeah, so this is one more option. What are the options we are understanding so far? One is with a name, -name or -I name, and -delete. The search it and delete the files, and -ls, yes, list the format of that output. And one more option now we are understanding is now -type. That is, do you are looking about the directories or the files or the links, is what you are looking about it from that result. Yeah, so that's about some important options with the find, but still it is not enough. Let's move into that some more. Yeah, the real time which are going to help with that with the find. Now one more point, like suppose if I use that sudo with the find, and within the etc itself, etc folder, -type d, if I use it, it is going to return all the directories, right? But you see the depth of the files are directories. Now some files which are in that, yes, within the etc and next to file, that is the maximum depth is 1, right? This is the parent, and within the parent we have the file. Maximum depth, the depth of the file location from the parent. So it is having that only one. But here if we search these helpers, the depth, if we just observe that etc within the etc firewall d, and within the firewall d we have the helpers. The depth is almost like which we have, this is 3 which we have. In the third position we have the helpers file from the top to bottom. And here if you see that the server is having the depth almost the 4th level. So whenever you are searching the files or directories, I would like to search it the maximum depth of only 2, or maximum depth of only 3 or 4 or 5. By default, it is looking at the top to bottom files. But if we need it, applying that. Now, how many files we have here? We'll see -l. Yeah, 606, the total directories. But if I use it, the depth only, there is what is the option which I have is depth based. If we are looking that or searching for the files or the directories, then we can use it, this option with the find command. That the maximum depth I'm looking about it, the particular file only top 2 levels or top 3 levels or top 4 levels. Then we can use it. The max depth is the property, and which you can use it. That is a 2. If you define it, maximum within that 2 sub levels, we need to find that, or it has to find that, or it has to return the result of the file or a directory which we are looking at. Yeah, that is a maximum depth. Now if I just use it like wc-l option here, yeah, actually this maximum depth which we need to give it here, yeah, now it is written that only 149. But normal directories which we have is around 606, but two depth levels, that means a directory and the next subdirectory. That's two levels of it. But how many directories we have this within with the two levels? The 149 directories. And if I go for the maximum depth, that is 3 something. Then third level, yes, which we have this 189, 187. Before it was 149, two levels. And the third level, yes, if you go to that, 187. Like that, if you go for the depth levels, yes. So that is a file hierarchy. How do we have? And within the hierarchy, guys, if you'd like to search it, the files are folders. Then we have this max depth, which you can use it. And what is the depth level that is required, which you can request to the find command if you know already. Suppose I know that my files which are created, which we have this in the two levels, then I don't want to go for more deep into that. More deep, if you go for find command, returning the result is, it is going to take more time, right? Yeah, if you'd like to make it that fast search criteria, then you can apply that depth level. If you have the clarity, the files which are looking at and what is the depth level that contains, if you have the clarity, then you can use it max depth option. Yeah, they're all different. I mean, there's one more option, max depth, but it is giving warning message. Why it is giving warning message? Actually, we need to define max depth before this. Yeah, now I don't see this any warning message. If there is one more option, the max depth, and if you are looking, yeah, the files and folders level, if you have this like any the hierarchy level, if you're going to look into that, the total hierarchy, or if you have this any particular hierarchy, then max depth is going to help with that. Yeah, how about this point? Yeah, like one more point we're understanding. Yeah, the next one more concept. There's some cases which is going to help, especially like operations engineer. If you're going to work it on the Linux systems as like a maintenance administrator, disk size. I mean, the disk size of the. I mean, in our system, what are the hard disk capacity which we have, and what are like the storage which we have? We don't consider that much. Within that, the project, each and every GB is very, very important. Whatever the storage which we are using to store that files or folders, each and every GB is very, very important. And sometimes we get about it, the disk has reached the maximum utilization. The current disk that has reached that, the maximum utilization. But how do we get it like disk information is? Yes, we have one command is df-h. Yeah, the df-h is command which is going to help for what is the current mount point which we have and how much it has been used. Yeah, but here we have like 1% it has been used. I'll explain this command later, but don't worry about it. Yeah, now if you see this, there's a root file system. We have the 40 GB total hard disk size, and out of that which has been used to 3.1 GB and still available 37 GB and 8% is available. Sorry, 8% has been used. But in real time, the servers you are working with that, servers keep on updating the logs and transactions as like peak hours, non-peak hours point of view. Disk consumption, yes. So those servers are going to use it. So we need to keep on monitoring about it, the utilization of the disk. But how do we view that, or how do we get it? That is, this command is helping. But the point what we have is now within this directory, suppose this utilization has got 90%. 90% it is got, utilization is nothing but next 10% only we have. And if the 10% also is reached utilization, then 100% of the disk has been used, and the servers are going to get hanged because there is no disk space. Okay, in those cases, like we need to go for looking about it, the files which are consuming more than, that is 10 MB or more than 100 MB. Is we need to find that the files which are going to consuming that in that directory or in that partition, which files are consuming that more than or more sizes. That means size based search criteria is required. Right now you need to find it which files are consuming that more disk space. But how do I identify that, like the files which are consuming the more disk space? Yeah, that is like a find with one more option which are coming back to that. That is a size based, applying that the patterns, that is a set criteria pattern with the find option. But how do we use it? Yes, let me go for again within the find with find. Suppose during runtime or real time, the servers are going to, the servers keep on running, and servers related completed transaction in which folder that will be uploaded, runtime information or logs information. This is important to act where log. Yeah, servers transaction, whatever it is performing, all that transaction it is going to write to this log files. But where the log files are located? That is where log. Yes, this is the important directory which we need to keep on searching about it. Is a where folder or where log folder. Okay, let me give that where as to go for more files to get it. Yeah, look it about it in that where folder. And now we are looking about the files. How do I identify that only files? Hyphen type F. And what is the option which I have is a size option. So we are looking at the files, the size based. Suppose we have that, you are looking about it, the files which are consuming 100 kilobytes. Yeah, finding and listing all the files, only files which are consuming that, the size of 100 kilobytes. Yes, now if you just run this command, but we don't have those any files which are consuming nearest to that 100 kilobytes. Yes, like here the point, 100K is nothing but nearest to that 100 kilobytes, like something 900 kilobytes or 1100 kilobytes. If you have the files which are matched nearest to that size, nearest to that exact size, then it is going to help. But we don't have those any files with 100K. But do we have any files with the 10K? No. Or 10? No. Yeah, we don't have those nearest exactly matching. Let me go for 1000. No, even that. So it is not giving that any files. Okay, but I need to look into about that more than 10 kilobytes or 100 kilobytes of the size. How do you get it? It is not giving that exact size. We don't have this nearest to the sizes, but I need to find it greater than 10 MB or greater than 100 kilobytes. Or if I have this particular size is greater than all the files listed, size is less than listed all the files, or between the sizes listed all the files. So how do we use it with the size option is, suppose greater than, how do we use it is plus and the size which you can give it. Now the files which are having, what is the meaning of here? Plus indicating greater than. Now we see this like any files here. Yes, we have some files which are having which are consuming more than 10 MB. Yeah, we need to get it the files which are consuming more than 10 MB or 100 MB or 20 MB size is, yes, that is about on the base of the requirement. But how to use that command is hyphen type and finding the files and size based. But what is that size? Do you want to look into the exact size or nearest size, or are you looking about it like greater than that? Yes, so now we have these files. If you see that some of the files which are consuming that more than 10 MB, less than 10 MB, listed all the files which are consuming less than 10 MB. Minus is less than, and plus is greater than. Now it is going to list all the files which are consuming less than 10 MB, hyphen 10 M. So many files. Okay, good. Yeah, this is like a plus, above, minus, greater than, and if you give that only that particular number, the nearest to the size, approximate to that 10 MB the files which are there. It is listing, but we don't have this any files. And one more option between the sizes. Now I need to find it the files which are consuming greater than 5 MB and less than 10 MB. Then how do I use it? The greater than 10 greater than 5 MB, that is a plus 5 MB, and again one more the size property which you can use it, and minus 5 MB, sorry, minus 10 MB, right? Yeah, the greater than 5 MB and less than 10 MB. Now list it to the files which are consuming between that. Yes, now you see that it is having that around 6 MB and it is having around 8 MB. Yeah, size is one more important the argument. Whenever you are having any disk related issues or a disk consumption, and you need to find it which files are consuming the more disk, then find and apply with like which files, which directory, that's directory, and which type of the files. Directory is not going to have the size, right, size based, but the directory, instead of looking that, we have the different command. We cannot use the find. The file based, that is recommended with the find -type f and a size, and yeah, we can use it plus notation, minus notation, and exact are the nearest the sizes of it. Yeah, there are the different options which are available. The plus is greater than, minus is less than, and if you give that only the number that is nearest to that number, approximate. Yeah, so these are all options which we have within this size option. How got this point with the size? Yeah, good. Yeah, then now let's go for, okay, the size is 1 point, but within the touch command, if you remember it, of the file creation times, if you just observe that, we have the change times, we have that like modified times, we have like access times, but you need to find the files last 1 day, what are the files which have been modified, or last 10 days the files which are accessed, are the files which are yeah, that is like above those last 10 days, what are the files which are modified or which are accessed. If you have this kind of the requirement, then how do we know that? How do we use it, the find option? So now we are understanding m time, c time, and a time, as we had that like a timestamps point of view. The same concepts like, but you are searching the files and you are locating the files on the basis of the a time, that is access time, m time, that is modified time, or c time, that is for changed the properties of that time. Then what is the option which you have this within the find is the find, and which directory you are looking about it, the directory that is the where folder, and -type, and which one we are looking at, files or directories. Yeah, the file f directories t. Then we have m time for the modified time, like that. C time, C for change time. If you are looking for the change time, then C time. If you are looking for that access time, then A time. Yeah, M time, C time, or A time. These three options are available with the find on the time based to locate the files or the folders. But you need that last 24 hours. How do we use it? Like last 24 hours is by default M time, C time, A time is going to work it on the day based, day wise. But if we need it day based, that's like suppose 10, if I give that, then 10 days. Depends on the 10th day, what are the files which are modified, then those files it is going to return from that directory. Greater than 10, that is more than 10 days, what are the files which are modified, and the within the last 10 days, which are all the files are modified. Minus is less than, like as we are understanding the size point of view, the same thing here also. Minus is the less, and plus is greater than, and exact number if you give that on that day. But here the number whatever you are giving, this is the days. Suppose if I give the 0, 0 is nothing but the last one day. That means the last 24 hours with the files which are modified, that is going to return that. But we don't have any files which are modified. So do you have any files which are accessed or which are changed? So this is like A time, M time, C time. That is going to helpful to get it like modified files, access files, or changed files. That's like 0, that is the last 24 hours. And if I give that a plus 0, then like the more than that. Or if you give that minus 0, that is minus 0. Minus 0, that is, I mean, there is no meaning of that. Yeah, minus 1 if you give it. Minus 1 if I give it, what is the meaning of that? 1 day. Within 1 day, right? Yeah, within 1 day. That means that is also indirectly the last 24 hours. 0 representation or minus 1 representation, both are almost same. Minus 2, that is last 2 days. Yeah, so that is about understanding M time, A time, C times. And one more option, like what do we have this here? It is understanding. Suppose if I need that like minutes based, last 1 hour the files which have been modified. But here we use it the time. We use it here min, C min, M min, A min. That is minutes. Minutes like the 60 if you give that minus 60, that is the last 60 minutes the files which have been modified, changed. C min, right? C for changed, like they're modified. M min, A min. So last 1 hour the files which have been modified. Okay, so this is like helping about it. M time, time is for the days, and M min, that is M min or A min or C min, that is for minutes based. And this is one more option with the find command on the basis of like access based or modified or like changed based. If you would like to get it that files, yes, you can use it. These options. How about these points? So far, if you just concluded the options, name option and ignoring the case with name, deleting that as well as, and we are understanding what else? Yeah, type option, type based, yes, if you like to get the directories, the files, or the links, and max depth option. Yeah, that is a 0 is nothing but greater than 0. That means within the 24 hours. That is 0 at the day, current day. Yeah, the max depth option and the size based. What size? Exact size are you looking at nearest to that, or greater than to that, less than to that, or between that. And M time, A time, access time. Time is for the days, and minutes based also, which you can use, which we have the option with the find, that is minutes, M min or A min or C min. It's about minutes based. Yeah, some more scenarios. If we just observe that with the find itself. Yeah, the find is, I mean, a very vast command and a very beautiful command and very important command. Yeah, so like if you are good with the find with all these options, then you will get it more confidence whenever you are setting the files or looking the files or managing about the files. That is a time-based point of view, space-based point of view. And now another scenario which we highlight is you need to find the files which are belong to the particular user, the files which are belong to the particular group, or one more option also which we have this is permission based. Yeah, the permission based getting the files, user based files, group based files is how to get it all that. Yeah, let me go for find with one more option like within that where, let me just try to use it where, and -type F files. I would like to get it the files which are belong to that root user. So now it is going to return that within the var folder, the file types with the user which are belong to that root user. Yes, we have these are all so many files, but we need to run it with sudo. Yeah, these are all the files which are belong to that. Yes, you see that here. The who is the owner of all these files? That is root. Root. That means in this current directory, these are all the files which are available or which are belong to that user root related. But one more point, I need to find a list of all the files other than root user. Can I get it? Other than root user? Okay, other than root user, what do we have this user? We have so many users in this system. But I need to find it the files other than that user. Then what is the option which we can use it here itself? We have like one more option, -not. -not is like this reverse of that result. Okay, first it is going to look in that all the files and the folders which belong to the root user, but reverse of that result. That means other than root user, all the files it is going to return that. You see this here, the users we have like a postfix, cronny, rpc, vagrant. There are the different users related files. But if I remove that -not, then it is going to return that the files which belong to that root user. Yeah, so within that find, with these options, whenever you are looking at a reverse of that, the result, if you need it, -not, which we can use it that. The simple -not, the very the useful some cases. And now group, as if you'd like to check it, you simply use that the -group. Yes, other than root group, remaining all the files, and only group related files, root user related group. Yes, these are all the files which are belong to that root group. Yeah, so that's about the important some options with -user, -group, and -not. The reverse of that, the result. Next, like one more important thing. Yes, let's go for that. Now the requirement is you need to find it all the files within that etc folder, and you need to yeah, you need to get that content of those files. Content, how to get it? We have the cat command, right? But how do we list it all the files which are there in that? Okay, let me sudo find all the files. How to get it? -type and type of the file as f. But what is the requirement here which we have is I need to get that content of all these files. Yes, so now these are all the files which are listing, but content of the files, how to get it? So that is a combination of two commands, right? Now suppose content, how to get it? Cat command. Cat, if I use it, it is not written in the content here. It is just saying their file names. Or okay, let me go for applying that especially password file. It is going to return so many files, right? Directly if I apply it, it is going to return so many files. Now I have these password files which we have within the etc 2 files, but I would like to open that these two files content as well as. How do you do that is, so the command, find the command output, you need to pass it to that another command. Then how do we do that activity is, which we can use it, -exec. -exec, what it is doing is, that is a, find with another command if you would like to run it. Find with another command. It is like as a pipeline symbol. In our normal text processing point of view, the pipe, how do we use it? One command output forwarding to that another command output as an input to another command, pipe option. In our find command, find complete result to take it and do that some other activity or other command run it. Then we don't use it the pipe option. Pipe option it is not taking. -exec. -exec, what is the command which you would like to run it? Cat command. But here you need to catch that, or you need to pass it to the cat command, the output of the find command, right? Then how do we use it is, yes, output, how do we read it? It is like as the list of all the elements, right? It is not just one element, list of all the elements. We have the two elements here. Maybe on the base of the scenario which I'm searching, it is going to have the more than two elements also. So whatever it is returning from this command, we are executing with the cat command, and we are passing to this cat command because we cannot hard code the file names here, right? But cat we need to pass it the file name. But how to pass it is the curly braces and then the backward slash and with the colon. This syntax is going to helpful at reading that complete find command result and passing to this command. Now if I just run it, yes, now we see this has been showing the content of this. Yes, so this is the content of the first file, and this is the content of the second file. All the file content. Or I need to take the backup of all these files. How do we take the backup of the files? Suppose let me create. I'm just creating one folder backup. Yeah, now this, I mean, the password files, whatever I'm having or whatever I'm searching, that the find command is returning that some files. Okay, all these files I need to move into that this backup folder. How do we do that? And there is a common, I mean, now first command result is this first command result, and we need to catch it and we need to pass it to that the cat. Yes, like what is how to copy or how to take the backup is cp command. CP, yes, CP command is helping, but the I mean source file is the find command output, whatever it is returning, that command output is the source here, right? CP, what is the command syntax? CP source file and to the destination directory. Source file, which file? The output of the find command you need to take it. Yes, ex is the CP, and how you're going to read that the output of the find command, all the elements, that is double curly braces. Okay, and to which directory does you want to pass it? Yes, within that user home directory, just we have created backup, right? So to this directory, we would like to copy it. Yes, now if I run this command, and if I check it that backup folder, yes, now we got it like a password file as a backup which we got into that. My file here, let me use it. Yeah, same password file which we got. Yeah, that is like a cp command. Now it is in that one or two. Let me just check it. Okay, so this is within the, I mean, the directory which is taking. Actually, it has to take it xcc hyphen xcc. Let me use it cp. So the backup directory, we are going to redirect it. Let me run it and let me check it. Yeah, so it is taking that password file, but not the second file. Actually, it is, I mean, it is going to take all the files of this output to the backup directory that is on the base of the result, which is returning. But some violations. Let me look into that. Only one file. Yeah, but actually the command is, this is the command. Yeah, but it is one file it is not taking. etc pam.d password file. Okay, yeah, the fine. What it is doing is the file name is the same, right? It is just going to overriding that the copy command. The copy option, the file name is the same, right? So we are having that, or we are going to use it the same file. Is the first it is copying the first file, and the second file it is a copying that. Yeah, just if you just observe the cat option here. Yeah, so it is overriding the file as we were understanding the CP with option. Yes, you need to use it like if you don't want to override it, or if you'd like to do that activities, yes, you need to use the CP options. Yeah, the file names both are the same. That's why it is just overriding that. Yeah, but to the point, how do we read that output of the find command? Yes, this is the reading of that with exe combination. And which command are you going to use it? The command and output of this find command, and yes, the syntax like the CP options pointer, which you can use it here. Yeah, that is like a exe combination. I mean, how do we run that? Another command on the find result is yes, which we have the exe and another command, and on the base of the command you need to pass it the output. Yes, CP point of view or moving point of view, or if you're going to create the tar files of this. Yeah, on the base of this requirement, which you can use it this command and you can work with that. Yeah, so these are all some important point. And okay, let me go for one more point. How to find it empty folders or empty files with the find? Suppose I need to find it within this sudo find within the var folder type. If you need that empty files, yes, files, that is -f, or if you need that empty directories, then -d. But what is the argument which I have is empty. Yes, now it is going to return that all the empty files. You know, if you open any one of the file content, now we don't have this any content there. Yeah, -empty is one more argument which we can use it within the find command. If you like to find it empty files or empty directories, yes, that is going to help with that. Yeah, so there are the different options with the find. I've got these points. Almost, I mean, with the different scenarios, this is very important. Very important command and the real time, the very powerful command whenever you are working with that. Yes, the issues point of view. Issues like one of the major activities as operation engineer about your disk rotations, like files copying, files moving, that is taking the backups of it, or you need to find that size-based files, like which files are consuming that more disk, or you need to find that files which are modified based or accessed based. Yeah, how do you work with that in your daily activities whenever you are on the Linux system? If you have this kind of the scenarios, the find is more powerful command compared with locate. We don't have all these options, right? It is just returning that file is there or not, that's all. But we don't have that option on the basis of the size based, permission based, user based, group based. And find command result taking and applying to another command, the command output. Yeah, that is -exec option, or deleting the files, -delete option, max depth, minimum depth, empty files, empty directories. Yeah, so the very powerful command. I've got these points on this point. Yeah, what is Jamili? Can we use standard out redirecting for creating a backup here? No, but yeah, you can use it. I mean, that's a complete find command output, whatever it is returning. Yes, you can apply that with the redirection option. You can save that into the file, you can save it, but the command output, you cannot use it for another command. The find the result point of view. And we got it one more point, ls-l and ll. Yes, ll command, this is the shortcut of that ls command, ls-l. Suppose if you go for that alias, within that alias, if you see that in the system we have ll, but I don't want to run it each and every time ls-l -color r2. So this is simply created for enter this command with the shortcut is alias name, that is LL. So if I'm running that LL command is nothing but indirectly I'm running that this alias command. You can see this list of all aliases which you have created in your system. Yes, that is alias is a command which you can find it. Egrep. Egrep indirectly is going to run it this command. Suppose some long commands. So each and every time running this with those along with commands and options, it is very difficult. And what you can do is you can create a alias for that, and you can use it that alias name whenever you are working this on the system. LL is alias name for that LSI command. You got it the point now? So before exact difference between LSI and LL. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's about the find command. Find is working on the files and folders. And the locate. Now you got the clarity on the difference between the locate and the find, and which command is more powerful. Yeah, if you know the find, at least the 2 or 3 interview questions nearest to that you can give that answers. Yeah, the find is very useful. Okay, good. Now the file searching, directory searching, which you got it. What about content within the file? Now suppose in Windows, if you have the file, and within the file you would like to search any string, we use it Control F, right, as a search option. Within the string, within the file content you would like to search it. But how do you use it on the Linux system? If you have the file, and within the file do you have the particular string is there or not? So what is the option that is going to help for? So the next option which we have this is searching the string within a file. Now we are understanding searching a string for the file names or the directory names with different options. Yeah, the next one more powerful command which we have this in the daily activities which we use it is that is a grep command. The grep, yes, very powerful command. The grep searches the named input files, yes, the files which are passing to the command, and within the grep the particular string is there or not, matched or not. Suppose you need to find the errors in the log file, or you need to find that authentication failures from that log file. So users are logging that whenever they log in, the login got failure. But login got failure, I think that is going to update to one of the file backend. What other file we have? The secure is the file. But in that file, do we have any authentication failures? You need to search the string. Whenever you open the file contain that thousands of the lines. But each and every line going there, authentication failure string, verifying is very, very difficult, right? But you need to find the lines which contains in that file about authentication failure or about error messages. How do we search the files with that kind of the strings? Yeah, so that is like a grep command. The simple notation, how do we use it is, suppose you need to find it user information. As we are understanding what is that file, like let me introduce one more new configuration file. These files we need to remember it, but whenever we are talking to the concept wise, what is that file, what the content is there in that file, will come back more. So far we are understanding, if you remember, that etc password file, etc shadow file, etc group file. Yeah, all these files we are going to work with that in users management section. What is the file content, what are the properties? That's, we'll go for more deep into that file later. And we are understanding var folder, var log, etc folder, bin folders, binaries, device folders, devices which are attached, temporary folder. Yeah, so with all these options, try to explore that the directories also. What is there in that content, in that folders of the files. Let me talk it one more configuration file, as we need to remember that whenever we talk it SSH service. Let me work it on that file, some activities. So that is within that etc ssh, and let me first within this main SSH service, you are connecting to the remote system. Suppose you are connecting to the system with background SSH is nothing, but yes, SSH is the main service which is helping to connect or to access the system remotely. But one of the configuration file which we should remember belong to that is SSH, that is shd_config file. And we have the two files. Yes, let me work it some grep options or grep activities on this file. SSH and ss_. You need to have the permission to view file content. Yes, now this file contains some content. Yes, what is the content? I'm not going to talk it, but you need to find some files. So what is the content I need to find is, suppose I would like to look into that the user is there within this file or not. Yes, we have the two lines within this file, shconfig file, which belong to that user content. User is the string which we are searching there, which are all sorry, which lines we have that this exact string which is matched. Yeah, this is one more line, this is one more line, but I mean within this file, okay, we have got it like user which is matched two lines, but can I get that line numbers in which lines that string is matched? Yes, -n option is going to help with that. In this file, in the 5th line we have the user, and in the 10th line also we have the user string which is matched. And if I would like to see that something, and one more important point, whenever you are using the grep with setting the particular string, use the double quotation. As we were just understanding within the find name option, use the double quotation. Like that same thing, you are searching the particular string within the particular file, but string defined within the double quotation. Suppose we have like now I need to search this string command line. This line is there within this file or not, but this string which is having the space. But if I use it directly without using the double quotation, then it doesn't find it. The exact string to match it, yes, with the space point of view, then use it. The string pattern within the double quotation is now it is written that the two lines command, two lines contains within this file about command line string which is matched. And -n option, and use the double quotation whenever you are searching the particular string. And with one more point, if you just observe that, suppose if I use it sh, but we don't have this any file content, but I would like to ignore the case. How do I use it ignoring the case? As we know that I option, right? Like even we are observing this in find option, -i name and a normal name, like that same thing. I can use it with this notation way. Yeah, now SSH is a string, ignoring the case pointer, it has been applied in all these lines, the SSH string is there. So the first line contains SSH, third line like that. There are the lines which contain the SSH string. You can use it in this notation, or instead of making that long format, you can use it -n I, or combination of multiple arguments, -l or th, how we are using the same way we can use it also. Yeah, I for ignoring the case, that is like where you can apply that if you like to. Now one more point, let me use it one more file here, the grep with suppose I would like to search the body is a string within that etc password file. But do you have any body? Yes, we have the body, but a body is not the exact word, right? Nobody. Actually, the username is nobody, but we are searching as the body string. but I need to get it exact word matching. If that exact word is matched, then it has to return that the lines which are matched. Otherwise, it should not say that. But I'm not looking at just a character based. Now body is now it has been taken the character based character. If the line contains these 4 characters, it is just returning that. But I'm looking about it body word, not characters. Then how I can apply that? Yes, we have like a option here -w. W is for word. Exact if the body word is matched within that file, then return it. Otherwise, body string if it is there within that in some other strings, no, I don't want that. But I need that exact word is there in that file of that body or not. But if I give that nobody, yes, we got it one line which is saying that nobody is a word which is exactly matched. -w is one more important option whenever you are searching that the particular word in a file, not the characters. Then we can use it -w option. And in the find command, we have used like one option -not, right? Not is nothing but reverse of that the current output. But within that grep also, I would like to get it all the other users not belong to the nobody. etc password contain the user's information, right? Now I need to get it all the users within this file other than nobody. Then how do I use it? Now if I use it, yes, it is written in that nobody is one user. Yes, it is written in that. Or we can use it vagrant user. Vagrant is we are using. Yes, now we have like one user entity which belongs to the vagrant. I would like to return the users list other than the vagrant. How do I do that? So inverse, I mean, we can call it as this one is inverse. That is a V option, which is very helpful. If I use it V option within the command, now it has written that other than the vagrant. You don't see that the vagrant user here if you just search it here. Yeah, -w, -v, -i, -n, and with the grep option. Grep, as we were understanding, is which is going to helpful to find it or to search the string within a file. But one of the options which we are observing this is that is which we have -i option, -n option, -w option, -v option. Or if you just run it grep, yeah, always that is not possible to remember, but yes, whenever it is required, just use it. Options like yeah, -i option, -w option, and -n option. See this. N is not there. Yeah, option and -v option, that is invert match, that is reverse of it. Yeah, let me talk it one more important thing, that is -or. Yes, this is like one more thing. Yeah, let me talk it that -or option. Difference between the find and grep, are they the same? Yeah, there is the point from the family. Yeah, do you have the difference between the find and grep or not? When do we use the find, when do we use the grep? Can anyone this? What is the difference between the find and grep? Yeah, the find, you can use it to search files or directories. Yeah, if you would like to locate the particular file is there or not on the system, then how do you do that? That is find command. What is the grep command? Grep, within a file you are looking about it or you are searching the particular string. Normally on the Windows system we'll open the file and we'll use the control F, right, to search it. Yeah, the same thing which we are doing that with the grep. Grep will use it for contents to search it. Yeah, but grep is having all these options: -i option, -n option, -w, -v, some important thing, and use that string within the double quotation. And let me talk about one more important hyphen caps are. Yes. Suppose now I'm looking at the one string. This is the IP address, the loopback adapter IP address within that etc folder, in which are all the files this string is available. I need to find it, not in just only one file. Not in just only one file. Normally we give that the file, right? File as an input to the grep command. But here I'm not using that the file, but I don't know that particular string in which folder, in which file that is available. The particular string. If you know a particular file, within the particular file, the string is there or not, then you can use it to grab a string with the file path. But now we are looking about it within the directory. Within this entire directory, we have so many files. But now I need to get it. I need to find it in the files wherever it has been matched. Yeah, so whenever you are using the grep, by default grep is not going to apply that's on the directories, but we can use it hyphen caps or. Yeah, let me run it with the permission. Yeah, now these are all the files within the etc folder. These are all the files. Now we got it. They're all the files which are contains this string. Now if you see the ctc host is the file, and this is the line. This line contains the 127.0.0.1. And we have this another file. In this file, yes, we have like a this the line contains 127.0.0.1. Yeah, like that list of all the files. The string which contains that is going to return by using hyphen caps are. Yeah, the very powerful, the very useful whenever you are looking at the particular string in which are all the files are there. Particular file, yes, you can give the file path. Directly grep string and file path. And one more option, like what is the point which you have is, suppose some cases we need to get it. Let me use it one more file here. Looking about it, the error information. Suppose you are looking for that error message within a log file of the system. What is the log file of the system? Suppose I'm looking about it error string. The way the log files are located, where log messages. Yeah, we don't have those any errors here. And let me ignore the case as well as that is also important. Even we don't have those any errors within this messages. But if you have like the kind of let me use it another file instead of that where log messages. We have like a kernel related all the errors to check it or all the logs information. Dmessage is one more file. Dmessage, and here also it is also not having. I'm looking about it error string, it is not there. Yeah, dmessage is this is a file which contains the complete kernel logs. Yes, whenever you would like to check it any errors which belong to the kernel related, then this is available within the buffer itself. There is no specific location. dmest. And we are looking about it like, let me just search for that some string here. The grep. Yeah, so let's talk it about it. This string kernel is the string I'm looking about it, and these are all the lines which are written that. But some cases, yes, whenever you are looking about it, I'm looking error, but it is not there. Yeah, let me try to use this kernel. Now, let me go for the more string, this one string, crash kernel. Oh, crash kernel, we got it in 2 or 3 lines, fine. Now I need to get it, the line which is matched with the string above 3 lines and next to some more 4 lines, because if I just read this line is not helping that to get the complete information of that error or that message. It is not helping. You need to get it within this the string in which line it is matched. So now this is one line, and this is another line, this is another line, total 3 lines now. But not just exact that line, above 3 lines and next to some more 4 lines. How do we get it that's what we call it is after occurrence of that and before occurrence of that string. Hyphen A, after occurrence, that means wherever that the line find, then the next 3 lines it is going to print it. And before occurrence, that means above that line you needed some information, then hyphen B, then like if you do that, the number of lines, 3 is number of line or 4 is number of lines. Yes, now you see that this is the line which we actually find it, the string. Now it is trying to print it above the sum lines and next to the sum lines. Yeah, after occurrence of the string and before occurrence of the string. Before is above and after occurrence that is below. Yes. In this file, wherever the string is matched, after the 3 lines and before the 4 lines. That's why we got it some lengthy of that output. Yeah, this is more the helpful whenever you are searching that particular the file with the error is there or not. But error you cannot find it in the exact line. Sometimes you need to go further up some 3 or 4 lines or the next 3 or 4 lines. But how do we use it whenever you are searching that error string to catch it exactly that error above lines and with the next lines? Then hyphen caps A, hyphen caps B. These two are very, very important, especially if we're looking at or searching for any exceptions within the log file. Yeah, there are the different options with the grep. Grep finally, what are the options which are mentioned? Hyphen I, hyphen W, hyphen N, and hyphen caps A, hyphen caps B, hyphen which we can use it V option, that is a version of it. Yeah, so there are some points which we can mention. On one point like hyphen caps are what is the purpose? Yeah, within the directory you are looking about it, the string, the files which contain the string, all the files you need to get it within a directory. Then you can apply that hyphen caps are the string and the directory. Yeah, so that's about 2 important commands as errors to identify grep. And if you are going to look into that, some issues related solution or analyzation, then find command, size based, users based, group based, and which we have like permissions based and m time or access time or like change times and deleting the files and the command finding the files and taking the backups or moving to the other directories. That is a combination of it, hyphen exec. Yeah, that is a find, and within that file you are searching that particular file, particular string within a file. Then we can use it, the grep command, grep with options hyphen I, hyphen W, hyphen N, hyphen V, hyphen caps R, hyphen A, B. Yeah, there are some options which we should remember from the grep command, especially errors if you are going to searching this within the log files, like a D message, that is kernel log file, and messages is another log file of that system, the boot up time or what are the packages and services which are launching everything. And we have this within this var folder. Var log. And secure is one more important file which contains authentication information. So any user is attempted and he is not able to log in. All the log failures, you can find it from here. Now your login to the system is nothing but that user information which is logging over here. Suppose if I'm trying to run it with a root user, but password is invalid. Let me enter some wrong password. Yes, authentication failure. But where it is writing that all this information in the secure folder, if you just observe that, here just it has been written password check failed for the user, that is root. And authentication failure. Yes, this is the string which we can search it within the secure file to find it. What are the authentication that has got failed? Yeah, suppose if I use it sudo grep of this string authentication failure string within this file where log secure. Now you will get it. Let me just run it. Now you will get it that like what are the authentication failure with ignore case and all the other options which you can apply that. Yes, authentication failed for the user root, and using the user is vagrant. From the vagrant you are trying to type it, and root user got failed. Yeah, authentication failures to track it. Now within this authentication failure, and in that with the -a top 3 lines and -b next to 3 lines. Yes, now it is going to give that in which line it is find it. Then you can find above that's 3 or 4 lines, and next to 3 are. And now these are all the 3 lines. Session open for a user root, and the session closed for the user root, and failed for user root. Yes, this is authentication and authentication failure, and log name is a vagrant, and it is given that yes, user ID not met by user root, and yeah, it has been written to that this file, that is where log secure file. Yeah, exact whenever we are searching that the error, exact line is not going to help. Sometimes we need to look into that next to 3 or 4 lines or above 3 or 4 lines. But you, for that you don't need to go back once again to the file. Then you can use it within the grep itself. -a, the number of lines which are required, and -b, number of lines which are required. Yeah, the very useful and important commands in the environments. Daily activities we are working is nothing but there are the commands which we should know that.